Good morning, students. In current electricity, it is integrated video 14. In this 14th video, very important topic we are discussing. What is the topic? Kirchhoff laws. Okay. Why we are use these Kirchhoff laws? Are you know? Generally, up to now in cells series parallel in these combinations, resistance series parallel in this combination. Generally, up to now we are use Ohm's laws. Okay. By using these Ohm's laws, some circuit we can solve easily. But for the complicated circuits which are not solved, complicated circuit means which are not solved. Okay. Further circuits, we are introduced Kirchhoff laws. We are introduced Kirchhoff laws. What are the Kirchhoff laws? Here the Kirchhoff laws will be have two types. One is Kirchhoff first law. This is also be called as junction rule or current rule. Okay, or charge conservation rule. How you can tell? Same. In this one, what we can learn? Junction. What is meant by junction? This is called a junction, a point, simply. Now for this junction, I want to take one current like this. This current is go inside the junction. That is I1. Okay. Second one is I want to take it the current as I2. This is the second current. Now here in this diagram, what I show here, individual currents I1, I2, like that we are considered that all currents will be entering into the junction. Okay. Now I want to take out, leave from the junction like this. Okay, these are all I3, I4, I5 like this. And understand? These all currents which are entering into the junction is equals to the all currents which are leaving out from the junction. This is the Kirchhoff first law. That only here I wrote one definition, very very simple definition. What we wrote at any junction, this is called a junction. Okay. The sum of currents entering into the junction. The sum of currents entering into the junction is equals to the sum of currents leaving out from the junction. Leaving out from the junction. This is leaving out from the junction. Here, to explain this law, here how many currents I take here? Simply I consider 5 currents. What are that? I1, I2, I3, I4, I5. Which are entered into the junction I1 and I2. So what I want to write here? Sum of means addition. So what can I write? I1 plus I2. Sum of currents entering into the junction is equals to means nothing but equals. Clear? Next, sum of currents, sum means plus. Sum of currents leaving out from the junction. Leaving out from the junction. What are that? I3, I4, I5. So I3, I4, I5 sum. Sum means, so I will write as I3 plus I4 plus I5. This is a Kirchhoff first law. Or if I want to be take these all plus will be take one side. Means it will comes to another side. Then how can I write I1 plus I2? These two are this side only. Now I3 will be plus. This will come to this side. Then it is nothing but minus I3. Okay. And I4 here plus. If you take this side, it will also be become I4. Okay. This one is also be plus. At this side, it will come to this side. Then it will become minus I5. That is equals to 0. Are you understand? That means the currents which are entering into the junction, you can take it as a positive. The currents which are leave out from the junction, that directions you can consider as minus. How you tell? No problem. Are you understand clearly? Very, very simple. Now, are you follow? Now, according to this one, I want to be write one more sigma I that equal to 0. That means the algebraic sum of currents meet at a junction. The algebraic sum of currents meet at a junction is equals to 0. The algebraic sum of current meet at a junction is equals to 0. Clear? These are all about the first law. By applying these junction rule, we will measure some objective sums. Okay? Later we will discuss. Now, next one is Kirchhoff's second law or conservation of energy law or one more name loop law. One more name loop law, potential law. How can you represent? No problem. Here in the Kirchhoff's second law, what we can write? We must be considered one mesh or closed loop. In this closed loop, the total algebraic sum of potentials, the algebraic sum of potentials in a closed loop is equals to 0. That is second law of Kirchhoff. For example, in a closed loop, suppose here we consider one circuit. In this circuit, across the potential difference across AB points as V1 and BC points as V2 and CD points as V3 and DA points as V4. If you want to be taken like this, then what you can write? Algebraic sum. Algebraic sum means V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus V4 equal to 0. That means sigma V equal to 0. Very, very simple. Okay, that is only here we are discussing. Algebraic sum of potential difference in a closed loop is equals to 0. Are you follow clearly? To explain this one, here I am taking one cell, this is cell EMF E, and from the cell positive terminal the current will pass and it must be passed across the resistor R1. The same current will be here I, and here the same current will be comes into the second resistor, that is also be same I, and here that in third resistor the current pass through the third resistor, that current is also be same, that is also be I, and it will reach to the terminal negative. So current will reach here. In this one, how can I write? See that. Now I will consider one loop. Loop means which point you are started and is also with that point only. For example, loop, here we named as a 4, A, B, C, D. Say yes or no? Now I will consider as, I will start from A, so A, B, C, D, is it loop? No. If you write again A, then it is called loop. Are you understand? Where you started, you must be comes to there. That is called one closed loop. Are you follow clearly? Now, in this closed loop, now where you are start from here. While you are starting at that time, now you and current both are in same direction. You are moved from A to B and the current is also be moved from A to B. Then according to sign conversion, what we can write? The sign conversion you can represent with minus. Are you follow? So minus I into R1. Are you clear? Next one is the current will be moved from B to C. Are you understand? The current will move from where to where? B to C. And you are also be considered B to C only. That means direction will be like this. Are you follow? This is the directions. What I draw here, it is a direction. Clear? Now, we are also be moved from B to C and current is also be moved along the BC. Then, how can you write again? Minus I R2. Clear na? Now, third one is same. You and both current both are moving in same direction. Now, how can you write? Same. Minus I R3. Now, the current will touch at which terminal? Negative terminal of the cell. Which terminal it will touch? According to sign conversions, you need to be take a reverse sign. That means here which sign? Negative sign. It touch at negative. That means you must be considered as positive. That means plus E, that is equal to 0. This is called algebraic sum. Now this minus all I will take that side. Then IR1 plus IR2 plus IR3, that is equal to E. That is equal to E. By using this statement, by using this formula, we can give us one more statement. By using this one, we can tell one more statement. What is that? Algebraic sum of potentials is equals to sum of EMFs. Okay, if you consider one circuit, closed circuit, in it, the total potentials, the algebraic sum of potentials is equals to algebraic sum of EMFs in the closed circuit. You can tell one more statement like that. Okay, suppose if you want to measure current, here I, here I, here I, then I will take out common, then I equal to capital E by, if you take I common, then what you can write? I into R1 plus R2 plus R3. You can write like that. That equal to E. Say sir. By using this one, I equal to, this one will come to this side. Then what you can write? R1 plus R2 plus R3. Okay, up to here enough. Okay, the algebraic sum of potentials in a closed loop is equals to 0. This is Kirchhoff's second law. Now, by applying these all, we will solve some numericals. Kirchhoff first law and second law. To solve these complicated circuits, by using these two Kirchhoff laws, we are discussing about Wheatstone bridge. Okay, Wheatstone, what he introduced that is 4 resistances. One is P, and one more is Q, and third one is R, and fourth one is S. Now these 4 resistances, they are formed as a bridge between A and B. They are connected one EMF of SL, and here between C and D, if you want to be take it as in order, A, B, C, and here D. Now between B and D, they are connected one galvanometer with a little resistance up to D. Up to D point. Okay, 4 resistances P, Q, R, S as in the form of one bridge. Okay, now the current will be passed from positive terminal of the cell and it reaches to negative terminal of the cell. How it will becomes? It is as I. At this A point, the current will be as I at A point. We have the 2 ways. Then what will be? It must be splits. It must be splits. How it will be splits? As it is I1 and here I2. Okay, I1 and I2. Why? Because it is a junction. At this junction, I1 current will enter and I current will enter and I1, I2. It can split it like that. Now here, the I1 current will becomes at a junction of B. Here again it have 2 ways. So the current will be split as here it is I3 and here it is through galvanometer. So the current is also be, I will consider as IC for our convenience. Okay. Now here I2 current will comes at D point and IC current is also be come towards the D point. Now these 2 currents are entering into the junction. Now it will be entered as through S, nothing but I4. Now what I wrote here as I4, it can passes. Now this I3 and I4 are meet at junction C. Okay, at junction C, and it will be as I. Here I is nothing but I3 plus I4. Why I will write these all? In derivation we will see that. Okay. So here how much current will enter? Here it will come as the same current if resistance will be neglect. Okay. Almost resistances will neglect of the flow of current. Then the total current will reach into positive terminal to again it will come to negative terminal. Clear na? This is a nothing but a Wheatstone bridge. In it, what we are discussing here at junction. Okay, I am applying Kirchhoff first laws at junctions only. Here how many junctions? One is A, one more is B, C, D. Total how many junctions we have? 4 junctions. In 4 junctions, at junction A, what can you write? I will be split as I1 plus I2. I will be split as I1 plus I2. Clear? Next junction is at B. So at B junction, what we can write? I1 will be split as again 2. What are that? I1 is equals to Iz plus I3. Okay, this is I will consider as this is 1 and this is 2. Next one is at a C junction. At a C junction, okay, I3 and I4 both will meet at a C. So what can I write here? I3 plus I4, it is as I. This is the third equation. Fourth one is at a D junction. What we can write? At D junction, here 2 currents are made and 1 current will be left from the junction. What are the 2 currents? One is IC and one more is I2. So what I write here? I2 plus IC, that is equals to I4. This is equation number 4. While we are deriving that equations, we will consider only B and D. Remaining we not consider. Just how we applied the Kirchhoff first law at all junctions I discuss here. I understand. In derivation part we are discussing only at B junction and at D junction. Clear? Now here the 2 currents we will take. Now apply the Kirchhoff second rule. What is Kirchhoff second rule? That is algebraic sum of potentials in a closed loop is equals to 0. Here we will consider one closed loop. Which one it is? That is, we will start from A to B, B to C, B to D, D to A. So here I will consider loop A, B, D, A. This is a closed loop. In closed loop, what we wrote? Algebraic sum of potentials. So potential means V is nothing but IR. Here current what we have? I1. Here resistance what we have? P. Then what you can write? Simply the first potential is I1P. Now what we gave the sign conversion for here? Now current and you are moving, both are in same direction. So what you can write? We can written as with a negative sign. So minus I1P. Clear? Now we are moved from B to D and current is also be moved from B to D. Both are in same direction. So minus Iz into resistance will be capital Z. Next one is, now you are moved from D to A, but current is moved from A to D. Then it is opposite. While it is in opposite, then you can take it as according to sign conversion plus. Then I2 into R, that is equals to 0. This is equation number 5. This is the first loop. Similarly, we will apply here one more loop. So from that loop, B, C, D, B. By using this loop, how can we tell? Very simply I am discussing here. Now I will start from B to C. So current and both we are in same direction. So minus I3 Q. Okay. Now we are moved from C to D, but current will move from D to C. Then plus I4S. Clear? Now you are moved from D to B and current will move from B to D. So both are in opposite. Then what we can write? Plus Ig into G, that equal to 0. This is equation number 6. Now to set bridge is said to be balanced. To set the bridge is said to be balanced. What we want to do? We will adjust here the resistances until the Gauss meter shows zero deflection. Up to that we will adjust the resistance values. Okay, now see that, see here. Now if we adjust the resistance values until the Gauss meter shows zero deflection, that means bridge is said to be balanced. That means Ig equal to 0. It does not show any reading. That means current in galvanometer will become 0. When it will become 0, here I am giving one more small important point. Here potential and here potential both are equal. Then it will be 0. Then how can you write? Very, very simple. Until to bridge balance until the resistance values will adjusted. Okay, then whenever galvanometer shows zero deflection, then only we can discuss the bridge is said to be balanced. Then we will discuss bridge is said to be balanced. Then apply here. Then it is nothing but I2R that equal to I1P. This is equation number 7. Similarly, I3Q, I4S that equal to I3Q. This is equation number 8. Similarly, if you want to be considered here 0, I1 equal to I3. If you consider here 0, I2 equal to I4. Here what we have? I2, I4. Here what we have? I1, I3. Whenever Ig will become 0, here it will become 0, here it will become 0, I1 equal to I3. That you can apply here. Okay. Now, if you take the ratio 7 by 8, then what you can write? These all get cancelled. Finally, you can write P by Q equal to R by S. This is Wheatstone bridge balanced principle. Okay, most important. But here we need to remember one important point. When it will be balanced, these all resistances values as in this ratio, then only the bridge is said to be balanced. Are you follow? This resistance values are adjusted to this ratio. When the two ratios are equal, then only the galvanometer does not show any reading. That means Ig equals to 0. Then only the bridge is said to be balanced. That's why Wheatstone bridge principle, what we can write? P by Q equal to R by S. This is only the principle. Clear? Now, by using these Kirchhoff laws and Wheatstone bridge principle, upon this we will solve some circuits. See here. Very simple circuit here we are giving. The electric current I in the given circuit. By seeing this one, it will look like very different. Yes or no? But why we are solving this one? Very easiest. How? We must follow the Kirchhoff first rule. Already we discussed. What is Kirchhoff first rule? How many currents entering into the junction? That is, algebraic sum of currents entering into the junction is equals to algebraic sum of currents leaving the junction. Here, what are the junctions in this sum? This is called one junction named as P. It is one more junction named as Q, and here one more junction it is named as R. Here how many junctions we have? 3 junctions that are P, Q, R. Say yes or no? At P junction what you are observed? Very simple. 1 ampere current and here 2 ampere current, both are meet at a point. These are our currents entering into the junction. Entering into the junction means what you can write? 1 ampere I1 plus I2, that equal to, here current will leaving the junction. This I want to be write as I3. This is I1, this is I2. I will take like this. So I1 plus I2, that is equals to I3. I1 plus I2 how much? 1 plus 2 amperes, that is nothing but how much? 3 amperes. This is I3. So I3 equal to how much current? 3 amps. So along this 3 amps current will pass and it reached to Q junction. It reached to Q junction. In Q junction, which current it will enter? 3 ampere current will enter. Okay, while it is entered into the junction Q, some current will leave out from the junction. Here one more current will leave out. So total here 3 ampere current will enter. 1 ampere will leave out. So here I am writing 3 amperes will enter. 1 ampere will leave out. So 1A. Remaining we don't know, x. Now x equal to what you can write? 3 minus 1. It is nothing but 2 amps. It is nothing but 2 amps. This plus 1 take this side, it will become minus. So 3 amperes minus 1 ampere. How much it is? 2 amperes. Now it is as a 2 ampere current. Now how much you measured here? 2 amps. This 2 amps current will comes and meet at a junction. Which one? R. I understand? Here 2 ampere current will meet and here also from this side one more current will came. How much it is? It is also be 2 amps. So entering currents are 2 ampere plus 2 ampere. How much it is? That is nothing but I here. So I equal to how much? 4 amperes. I understand very clearly. Very simple sum. Here 2 will enter as a 4 amperes. Then what is the answer here? 4 amperes. Clear? See here one more circuit with the same Kirchhoff first law. Here it is one junction. It is we will take it as a P. Here Q. Here R. Here S. Now at P junction, what we are observed? Here 10 amps current will go. It must be split as 6. And here how much? Here how much? 4 amps. Why? Because entering currents, sum of entering currents is equals to leaving currents. Says or no? Now we measure here X. That is how much? 4 ampere. Are you follow clearly? This 6 will take this side, it will become 10 minus 6, how much? 4. So 4 amps will come this side. Where we are measured? Here we are measured. Now, this 6 amps will enter into the junction S and here 2 amps will enter into it. Now 2 plus here 6, both are add and as it will move 8 amps. This we will measure. Okay, 8 amps. From S to R junction. Clear? Now it is 8 amps and here come this side. Now 4 amps and 1 ampere will go leave out from the junction. So remaining one more we need. So 4 equal to 1 plus here I will write as Y. Because of already X element we measured. Okay? Here X already we measured. Now one more element I will take it as Y. Now Y equal to 4 minus 1, how much it is? 3. Now 3 amps. Are you follow? Now at R junction, 3 amps. Now Y equal to 3 amps. Okay, now 3 amps and 8 amps, both will add. So 3 amps plus 8 amps, that equal to I. What is the I value now? 8 plus 3, how much it is? 11 amperes. How much it is? 11 amperes. This is the one more sum. Here, similar model one more I gave from first law only. Now here I will consider one junction, it is as a P. Here one more junction, it is as a Q. and here one more junction it is as R. Now observe here. Into the P junction, what the currents will enter? 7A and 3A. So total current how much it is? 7 plus 3, 10. Okay, now it is a 10 ampere current. Clear na? Directly here I am writing 7 ampere plus 3 ampere, it is as 10 ampere. Now this 10 ampere will come this side, and here also be one more X junction. Okay, now it is entered, it is also be entered. So 10 plus 1, that equal to as I1. Then I1 equal to how much? 11 amps. This is the first answer. What are the values of I1, I2, I3? In that I1 how much? 11 amps. Next here I1 equal to 11 amps. This 11 amps will enter into the Q junction, and here also be entered. So totally 11 plus 2, both are entered. And what are the leave outs? That is 2 plus I2. 2 plus I2. Are you follow? 2 plus I2. Clear? Because of it is also be leaving, it is also be leaving. These two are entered, entering the junctions and leaving the junctions. Then 2 will come to this side, then IT is also be nothing but 11 amps. IT is also be nothing but 11 amps. This is the second answer. Now IT equal to 11 amps. Now 11 amps will enter into the junction. So 11 will enter, that equal to, here 2 currents are leave. What are that? One is I3 plus second one is 4 amps. Then I3 equal to what you can write? 11 minus 4. How much it is? 7 amps. Then I3 value how much it is? 7 amps. Okay, I3 equal to 7 amps. This is answer. This is one answer. This is one more answer. So how many answers we have? 3. One is 11, 11 and 7. Okay. Remaining we will discuss in next video.